Unity 1, just having fun.
Welcome to part 2 of the lighting video. This time I shall be covering the wiring installation and cabin controls. Hope you enjoy. I decided to revise the interior lighting. The main reason for this was when switched you had a red-white glow around the doors which could be distracting to other drivers. To solve this I put a diode pre-switched side towards the internal lamps. When the doors open, both circuits receive an earth and light. However, when the ambient lights are switched, the earth for the doors and internal lamp is prevented. The interior LEDs for the fibre optics are simple RGB with a common. For easy installation with custom lengths, I made up some simple connectors and shrink wrapped. Not my best work, but functional. To line the sunroof, I first test fitted the fibre around the sill to get the length with a little extra. While fitting the rear trim, I put a slight slit in the headlining to pass the fibre through, attached an LED to both ends and placed them behind the main interior light. With the top headlining panels and sunroof sill fitted, I then fed the fibre optic around, pushing its tongue between the sill and the headlining for a friction fit. Where the fibre optics pass, you do end up with a slight bump and increased light. However, I found this with the light bleed through the standard light fitting enhanced the end result. I used brushed aluminium switches in the centre console for a complete look. I removed the little padded lever section and then cut the switch holes. After a trial fit, I recoloured the exposed leather to match. With the console ready, it was time to complete the wiring. I crimp and shrink wrapped the spade connectors for the switches, connected the controllers and power, and then tested for integrity. Right, I've finished doing my wiring for my light and switches now. They're all colour coded, and I've also labelled them for interior lighting, underglow lighting. That one is for fan control. Colour coded and fed through, wired in accordingly. Now just got to put everything in and put the centre console back in. And so hopefully all the wires will fit back in now, and I can then tidy up the wiring under the thing here behind the glove box. Connectors were then labelled, the console moved to position and the switches connected, testing as I went along. With the console installed, I then fitted the head unit cage and head unit, but I'll cover that in a later video. You've got to run my fibre optics. I've already got my LEDs are mounted under here and here. Or fibre optic cables. I'm going to then run down, at least the plan is to run down one along here and up to this point here, down both sides. So similar kind of things what I've done around the sunroof. I also have another fibre optic LED in here, So I could also potentially run a line around the edge of this as well. And that'd be the end of those fibre optics done. That'd all be finished. I've still got to stick up the lights under the footwell. They are just kind of wedged under there at the moment. I need to fit them up properly. And I'll do the one on the passenger side after I've tidied up the wiring over there, part of that process. I think from here I'm going to stop this side light just here. There's a little light go around that side. Let's go and see the other side now. You can see it looks so much better where it just stops. The front of that console. I think that's what I'll do. I replaced the door safety light bulb with a bright white LED and pointed them so the beam focus was towards the bottom of the door. Drilling an additional drainage hole next to the original provided extra lighting as a puddle light. The interior and underglow controllers were mounted to the rear of the glove box. As this is almost directly under the left front speaker, it provided a good response to the built-in microphone for party mode and light switching. See here, so I installed the potentiometer on the end here so I can adjust the brightness of the lights on the dash. This other wire I have here, which is not actually connected at the moment. This is the one that is connected to the door switch, which is where I need to go through a diode to connect it into the main earth. Both systems have a mobile app to select modes, colours, animations and return to the last setting when powered on. As highlighted in part 1, my longer term intention is to use a custom controller to set underglow group colours for indication, braking and DLR. That's a topic for another day. For now, let's see the install and party mode in action. That's what you will notice with the fibre optics, although it's running along here, when it's not switched on it's actually fairly inconspicuous. You don't really notice it, which would be obviously different if you was using the LED strips. It just looks like piping. I've got one of the wires down.